Hey, this is Nat, and we're off our couch in St. Augustine, Florida at Old Town. Old Town is the home of the St. Augustine History Museum, the Old Jail, the Spice and Tea Exchange, Gator Bob's Trading Post, the Oldest Store Museum, and Old Town Trolley Tours. And that's what we'll be doing in this video, riding the Old Town Trolley Tours and getting off at different stops along the way. We'll stop for a stretch break and some outdoor fun at Project Swing Park, brunch at Ancient City Brunch Bar, dessert at Cutie Pie's Bake Shop. I'll be touring Flagler College, and we're all checking out the multiple museums at the Oldest House Museum Complex. Those are the attractions we're visiting off the trolley, and we'll see plenty while on the trolley too. We're looking forward to taking this tour along with you all. Thanks so much for getting out the couch with us and joining us. And if you see an attraction or activity that you would like to see us cover, tell us in the comments, please. And subscribe also if you yet to do so, because there are more excursions coming from St. Augustine. This is our second time filming a video covering the Old Town Trolley Tours. In our first video, we do get off at different stops, and I provide more of a walkthrough of the whole trolley tour in the different stops. So if you would like to see different stops and hear more about the attractions that are available to enjoy here in St. Augustine, I will include the link in the description box of our first video of the Old Town Trolley Tours. Now for this experience of riding the Old Town Trolley Tours, we like to thank Florida's Historic Coast for their assistance with this video. And before we get to our stops, let's talk about the trolley and what you can expect when riding the Old Town Trolley Tours. Old Town Trolley Tours has 22 stops around the historic district of St. Augustine. Plus, there is also a free shuttle to the beach, the alligator farm, and complimentary hotel shuttle service. Parking at Old Town is free, so if you're here to visit any other stores or attractions here in Old Town, including the Old Town Trolley Tours, if you're driving, you can park your car here at no charge and then visit the attractions here at Old Town, or park and jump on the trolley. The trolley departs continuously every 15 to 20 minutes and offers unlimited hop-on, hop-off privileges from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The last full tour of the day occurs at 4:30. So you can still hop on the trolley at 4:30, but it'll be running through the 22 stops for the last time that day. So if you are heading to get back to your car, if you parked at Old Town, or if you need the trolley to get to another part of St. Augustine, you'll want to keep the time in mind once you hit the late afternoon. And we'll add the website link in the description box so you can see the trolley schedule and times. The Old Town Trolley Tours is a narrated tour that recounts over 450 years of the history of St. Augustine and identifies over 100 points of interest. This is not a scripted tour either. Every tour we've been on, every trolley that we've hopped back on during the middle of the day, the narration has been different. So every driver has a different perspective, different information, and different facts while you're on the trolley. So it makes every trolley ride unique, which is really awesome. You can ride the trolley just for the narrated tour, which is approximately an hour and a half, which we have done before. We've caught the last tour at 4:30. Did not get on and off of the trolley and just enjoyed a ride around the city, sightseeing and listening to the historical facts. I personally, London as well, he agrees. So we personally think it's better to get on and off. It is a bumpy ride, so it's nice to have stretch breaks during the day and get the chance to get out and explore some of the places that the narrator is talking about while on the tour. We've talked trolley tour details. Let's talk discounts now. I stated during our video of the attractions here at Old Town. If you did miss that video, we'll put the link in the description box if you want to catch up. In that video though, we talked about purchasing ticket packages where you can bundle other attractions in St. Augustine with the trolley tour tickets for a discount. 2-day trolley tour tickets also offer a savings. For military, you can purchase discounted trolley tour tickets in neighboring Jacksonville, Florida at NAS Jax Naval Base and Mayport Naval Base. And I always recommend checking the site localflavor.com before any upcoming trip to St. Augustine. Discounted trolley tickets are sometimes available on that website as well. And keep in mind, however you purchase your tickets, admission to the St. Augustine History Museum is included with your trolley ticket. Okay, with all of that said, our narrated tour is starting, and we're leaving stop number 1, Old Town, where we boarded the trolley, and heading to our destinations for today. Now, I mentioned stretch breaks earlier in this video, and based on when and where you're picking up the trolley, this may be a great stretch break coming up for you. It is accessible from stop number 2, where the Visitor Information Center is located, and stop 3, where the Old Drugstore, Potter's Wax Museum, and Talamanto Cemetery is located, and that is Project Swing Park. This is a great stretch break in our opinion for both kids and adults. Our kids love this playground, and it has recently been renovated, and it reopened in November 2022, so it's even more lovable than before. The park features swings, towers, balancing beams, and more fun and activities to enjoy. We are done stretching and moving around and back on the trolley now at stop number 4, where we pass the city gates and all the shopping and activities on St. George Street, which includes the oldest wooden schoolhouse. St. George Street is an excellent street to walk. It is a pedestrian-only street with a multitude of restaurants, shops, and attractions. If you're interested in seeing more of this famous historic street, we'll include the link to our walking tour of St. George Street in the description box. We are going to get off at St. George Street, but at stop number 7, Hippolyta Street, St. George Street, and Columbia Restaurant stop, because we're going to enjoy some brunch, which I think is the perfect meal when you're out exploring. You cover breakfast and lunch in one swoop, and then keep that adventure moving. One important question as we start to order: have you had a brunch charcuterie before? No? Okay, not a problem. That's what we're here for. This is our first time trying a brunch charcuterie at Ancient City Brunch Bar as well, so let's experience it together. So at Ancient City Brunch Bar, you can build your own board. You can choose any of these brunch items listed, and you can customize your own brunch charcuterie board. You can also get your brunch items to go, but if you do dine in, this is what your board could look like: empanadas, brie cheese with honey and crackers, fruit, quiche Lorraine, scones. I could devour this whole board myself. At least that's what my eyes are telling me. I want to, because everything I tried has been wonderful, but this is a huge board and I do need to share. And the concept of these brunch charcuterie boards are born from sharing. One of the owners has explained to us that one of his children had a food allergy, and they shifted from having separate and different plates to eating together from the same board. Isn't that wonderful? Since you can customize the boards can come in different sizes too. And this brunch bar has such a cozy feeling to it, evident by the unique mugs that are used, like this one. Yes, thank you. And if you're not following us on Facebook and Instagram, follow us please. We share helpful travel content on our social media pages as well. I want to mention too, before we hop back on the trolley, there is a retail space here. You can buy your own board, pick up a bag of coffee, Screaming Peacock, which is locally roasted here in St. Augustine. We had a cup, we loved it, and there are other nice items to purchase as well. Okay, we filled up and are back on the trolley, passing Flagler Memorial Presbyterian Church, Grace United Methodist Church, and Ancient City Baptist Church at stop 8, then the stunning Villa Zareta Museum at stop 9 to get off at stop 10 for a tour of Flagler College. I'm taking the tour. London and the kids are going to do some walking around, and we'll catch up to them in a bit after the tour. For this tour, I would recommend purchasing tickets in advance. It happens only at certain times of the day, normally at just 10 and 2. The tour is about an hour long, and guests who take the tour can expect a student of Flagler College to explain the architectural details and history of Flagler College, which was once the Hotel Ponce de Leon, constructed by Henry Flagler, founder of the Standard Oil Company and the Florida East Coast Railway. This tour leads you to 4 different areas of the college. 2 of those areas, the courtyard and the grand lobby, are open to the public. So you can walk through these areas at any time whenever the building and property is open without a tour ticket. What the tour provides is intricate details of the architecture found in those areas. The tour also takes you to the former Women's Grand Parlor and the dining room of Flagler College. If you love history and love architecture, I believe you'll enjoy the intricacies that are uncovered concerning Henry Flagler in this building during the tour. Now, to catch up with London and the kids who stumbled upon a new bakery that recently opened on Kuna Street, Cutie Pies. Cutie Pies offers bite-sized pies from salted caramel apple pie to sausage and gravy pie, an outstanding variety, along with cookies too and drinks like tea and coffee. London is picking up a double chocolate chip cookie and a red velvet cookie, and I raced over just in time to try the red velvet cookie. You know, I can move pretty fast when dessert is on the line. These cookies are thick and soft and yummy, worth the dash from Flagler. And Cutie Pies has an outdoor patio too where you can enjoy your treats. If you stop by, let us know what you get. We are back on the trolley, heading to our last stop for this video. We'll pass by St. Augustine Distillery, San Sebastian Winery, Whetstone Chocolate Factory, and Plaza de la Constitucion, all places worthy of stopping and checking out, and places we've covered in previous videos on this channel, which we will include the links to those videos in the description box if you're interested in checking up on those places. We pass by those destinations at stops 11 through 14 to arrive at our last stop, the Oldest House Museum Complex, at stop number 15. This is somewhere we've been wanting to visit for a while. We're happy to finally be exploring the Oldest House Museum Complex. And I believe the key word in the full name of this museum is complex, because this is not just one museum, this is a collection of museums. There is the Gonzalez Alvarez House, the oldest house in Florida, built in the 1720s. The bottom floor built by the Spanish and the second story built by the British. Guided tours occur every half hour to view this historical house. There's also the Webb Museum showcasing St. Augustine's history from its founding through the 20th century. The St. Augustine Surf Culture and History Museum is located here. And there's also the Page L. Edwards Jr. Gallery, the Map Gallery, displaying 5 centuries of Florida coastal maps, as well as rotating exhibits. So there's a lot to see, a lot to learn. We talked about the Oldest House Museum Complex briefly in our Marineland Dolphin Adventure video, because this museum also holds history of Marineland, which was formerly Marine Studios. And that video will be in the description box as well if you missed that experience and would like to check it out. So you can see why this is a museum complex, and there are also gardens. So this is a really lovely place to just walk around. I'm glad we finally had the chance to visit these museums. All of the museums are really interesting, fascinating to browse and look around. There are so many incredible museums here in St. Augustine, and we'll talk about more museums that are in St. Augustine in a future video. For now, we'll enjoy our last few moments here before our ride arrives. If you are driving around St. Augustine, the Oldest House Museum Complex does have their own parking lot for guests touring the museums. That is at the corner of St. Francis and Charlotte. And there's our ride. The trolley is here, and we'll pass the last 6 stops: Castillo de San Marcos, National Monument, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and more as we head back to stop number 1 to end our trip today on the Old Town Trolley. Thanks so much for joining us today as we rode around the historic district of St. Augustine. Thanks for getting off the couch with us. If you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. We would love to know that. If you had a favorite stop, let us know. If there's somewhere you'd like to see us visit in the future, let us know that too. This is definitely not our last trip to St. Augustine. Probably not our last trip on the trolley, so we'd love to hear your suggestions, and we'd love for you to join us next video. We're taking a road trip to Myrtle Beach to visit a couple of family-friendly attractions there, starting with the Hollywood Wax Museum. This is a wax museum all about celebrities. Walk the red carpet with us. Let's mingle with the rich and famous. We're seizing our 15 minutes of fame and loving every minute in this interactive museum. So join us, please, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Subscribe if you yet to do so. Keep getting out the couch with us. And thanks, as always, for joining us for another adventure here in St. Augustine, Florida. Thanks so much for riding around with us on the trolley. Thank you for all of the likes, comments, shares, suggestions, and the questions. Definitely appreciate the questions because we try to be helpful and informative, and the questions help to guide us on our adventures and as we compile the information for these videos. So thank you so incredibly much. Until next week, click on the video to see another one of our experiences. Thanks for watching.